Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a champion guide for a Sepulcher Sentinel, so let's get into it. Alrighty, first of all, let's go ahead and pull up Sepulcher Sentinel, Knight Revenant, Epic, Defense, Epic kind of right here in the middle, and this is her. So as always, for my champion guides, I will have one of these infographics down in the video description that you can kind of pull up and see the current masteries that I'm using on the champion, plus all of the grades. And you know, she takes 11 books. All that type of information will be down in the video description. You can pull this up at your own leisure. So let me put that away and let's go over the kit here. So Sepulcher Sentinel is one of the newer champions in the game, was released fairly recently, I believe in February of 2020, and we've got a base speed of 98, which is pretty good. We've got an A1 that attacks one enemy with a 40% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. We can book that all the way up to a 60% chance, so an absolutely incredible A1. We get the big version of decrease attack, and it makes her a force affinity attack down for the clan boss, which is very needed in the game. We need more different affinity options in terms of A1 attack down for the clan boss. And then moving into the A2, we've got Sepulcher Shield, which places a 60% increased defense buff and a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now, this is an amazing ability. It is a 4-turn cooldown, but it's very impactful, so it's still very good. And what this can do is defense champions are kind of regarded as the best in the game, so increase defense, the big version, very useful, and block debuffs, very useful. We can use this to block the clan boss's stun, which I will show you here in the video, and we can also use it as a preventative measure in the arena, and also bring defensive champions that will now be tougher and hit harder and be, you know, impossible to debuff. So amazing general utility ability here in terms of clan boss for blocking stuns, arena, dungeons, faction wars, all that sort of stuff. So then we've got a passive, which is a 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when an ally is attacked. It can occur once per turn, so it's not gonna block, it's not gonna get lucky and proc for everybody. You know how Torment has a chance to freeze, and you can get lucky and it can freeze everybody. This is only gonna happen a maximum of 1 time, so you're not gonna like get lucky and have some perfect shield on your whole team when the clan boss hits you. It can only occur once per turn, so important to note on the passive there, but still handy when it does proc. Then an amazing aura. Usually speed and defense auras are regarded as the best, and if it's all battles, it's even better. Remember, for the clan boss, we can only bring auras that are all battles. A lot of people think dungeons auras work in the clan boss. They don't. It has to be all battles, but this means she can fill so many roles in the clan boss. She can be the defense aura role. She can be the A1, a big version of attack down role. She's a defense champion, so she's going to be doing damage and sustain at the same time, and she's based off of the best stat, which is defense. And she can increase the defense of our team, and she can soak up the stuns of the clan boss. So she's covering 5 bases for us in the clan boss as an epic champion. So absolutely incredible. I've got her in the god tier on my tier list. My tier list is down in the video description. She is in the god tier for epics because she is so amazing and can fill so many roles for you. So now let's go ahead and pull up my Sepulcher Sentinel and see what kind of gear I have on her. Which, while I'm doing that, little side rant, why do we have to keep getting these hard to say 6-syllable champions? Like, I've ranted about this before. We keep getting these Reliquary Tender and Sepulcher Sentinel. Like, can we just get Aethel, Kael, Senesha, Doom Priest? Can we just get some normal champion names instead of Reliquary Tender and Sepulcher Sentinel? Anyway, let me go ahead and pull up my my Sepulcher here. All right, so we'll start with the banner. We're obviously gonna want to get really good speed on her. If we can actually get her to go a lot, we can block every single time the clan boss stuns against us. Remember, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not a 3-turn cooldown. So her, I'll talk about that real quick here. So her blocking the stun if we can get her good enough speed to get enough turns in, we can block every single stun. But the reason we have to get her insane speed to do so is because it's on a 4-turn cooldown even when booked. The clan boss is going to stun somebody on your team every 3 turns, so we have to get her to get 4 turns for every 3 of the clan boss, and then we can block every single stun if we manage it and tune it right. So in terms of gear, that's why speed is very important, and we can see that I've got a banner with accuracy and speed. Then obviously we're hoping for defense and HP, but this was kind of the best I could do. I can easily replace this banner, but I just got her today or yesterday and kind of maxed her out as soon as possible to get her built and do a video and get the best gear I could on her. So this banner would ideally have accuracy, speed, defense, and HP. The Amulet is, you're always going to want defense as your main stat, and then you're going to want accuracy and HP. A little bit resistance is whatever. And then the ring, we're going to want a defense ring, and we're going to want defense and HP besides that. So this ring is actually really good for her. We've got the 6-star defense roll, and then we've got 11% defense and 14% HP. We can glyph both those up to be 15% apiece. So now we've got a 30% stat stick with 6-star defense as the main stat. So that ring is really good for her. Then in terms of the speed, I really wanted to get her speed up so that I can really cleanse those stuns, and thus it's going to be imperative to get speed boots on her. And obviously we're looking for those substats like defense and accuracy and sustain. So speed, HP, defense, they don't have accuracy. If they had accuracy instead of like resistance or crit damage, these would be double S tier for her. Then obviously a defense chest with lots of speed and accuracy. This chest is pretty good for her. The gloves, we're typically going to want to go for defense percent with speed and accuracy, HP, all that good stuff. You're starting to see the trend here. And then with the shield and the helm and the weapon, it's a little bit more simple. We're not having to worry about the main stat. Remember, weapons cannot roll defense. So that's something a lot of you don't know, and especially newer players get confused by this. Weapons cannot roll defense, and shields cannot roll attack. So even though she's a defense character, don't worry about getting defense on your weapon because it's not possible. So thus, we're looking for speed, accuracy, HP, crit rate, and then the helm and the shield are kind of, you know, normal pieces and par for the course. So that's why I've got her in kind of the 4-piece speed and 2-piece defense, so I can really get her to crank out those turns and block those stuns of the clan boss. So then I might as well show you the total stats here that we're working with, and we'll see the HP. We typically want to get this in terms of endgame viability somewhere around 35 to 45,000, somewhere in there. We want to get her defense to at least 5k ideally, and her speed like 235 to 245, somewhere in there, and then as much crit rate that we can squeeze in besides that. And then we want the accuracy to at least be like 220 or so that we're really landing that decrease attack against the clan boss. Alrighty, then in terms of masteries, alright, obviously you can't see it because of my head, but you can see the War Master there as the T6 Mastery. We're going to want to do that because she has a single hit A1, and we want these War Master procs against the clan boss. Now, there are a few different ways that you can build Sepulcher Sentinel, but I want her to be part of my arsenal for the clan boss. I want her to be somebody I can sub in against Void, Magic, and Force affinities. Obviously, against Spirit affinities, we're probably going to want to use a Magic affinity attack down, like a Jareg, somebody like that, Altan, who can, you know, perform that job a little bit better because they're not going to be, you know, having weak hits that will not apply debuffs. So, but she's going to be amazing against Force and Magic and Void. The only time you'll have to think about subbing her out for someone like Jareg is going to be against that Spirit affinity. So I like to go this route with the offense and the support, get the Hexer on her, get the Sniper. That's going to be very important for her A1. It's not a 100% chance, so Sniper is going to be very effective in terms of making her just a little bit more consistent in placing those decreased attacks. The rest is pretty standard operating procedure here. We're going offense to War Master, the typical support, you know, a Lore of Steel that'll help out the speed and the defense buffs. The Evil Eye is just for faction wars, and you can, you know, kind of, you know, build a little bit around that in terms of where you'll be using her to kind of help out. So that's the masteries I currently use. As always, use this as a template. Never just blindly copy masteries. Think about where you're going to be using the champion, read them as you're doing it, and build the character accordingly. Alrighty, so let's take her for a spin here in a few different areas of the game and kind of show you what we're working with. Now, she's not very good as a campaign farmer, but just for the memes, I like to show you guys her in action and kind of show how they do in the end of Brutal as a campaign farmer. So I don't have her graded very well in the campaign, you know, but just so you can kind of see her in action, I like to take, you know, 1 minute and just kind of show them doing a campaign run. I expect this to be pretty slow, 35-40 seconds. She is definitely not somebody you're going to want to prioritize as an endgame farmer, but this will give you a chance to kind of see the rotation of her abilities and kind of get familiar with what she looks like on the battlefield. She does have pretty good speed, so she should get 2 turns into there every one. And we thought 35-40 seconds, which looks like that's going to be about the case. Actually pretty slow. So yeah, she's more on like that executioner tier in terms of like how long it's going to take her to clear the campaign. So yeah, that's her in action, but obviously not a very good campaign farmer. She could be decent in terms of like 3-starring the campaign, but not someone you're going to want to build as a farmer. Now, she actually can be pretty decent in the arena, and I'll kind of show you why. So when I pull her into the arena here, so if I have a kind of a standard turn meter manipulation team like this, I use Arbiter to boost everything so that everybody can go, and we're inherently going to have her built as good speed. Remember, because we have to get her to block stuns in the clan boss, which is why she needs really good speed. So she's probably going to be going early in our rotation. We can just slide her in the arena with that build, and now it's really common to bring defense champions into the arena these days. She's going to buff the defense, make everybody tougher, make our defense champions hit harder, and she's going to block debuffs. So if we aren't able to kill them in the first wave here, now when they come back at you, we are immune to debuffs unless they strip the debuffs with Ray or something. So she can actually be very strong in the arena, just kind of built her normal clan boss way. You could definitely use her to effectiveness in the arena. I'll kind of show you a couple battles here. We'll go here. This is a little bit of a tougher one, but still shouldn't be an issue. So we're going to have the Arbiter boost, and then our Sepulcher boost our defense, block debuffs. And this can be really good versus people like Shazar that are kind of strong in the meta right now, placing bombs that blow up and kill everybody. And obviously debuffs are super strong in the arena, so blocking debuffs is going to be very good. So there we have it. Using her to, it didn't really end up mattering in these battles, but I hope I explained in certain scenarios how she could actually be very useful in the arena. Alrighty, and now let's talk about the clan boss. Well, no, I'm going to talk about the dungeons first, because the clan boss is going to be a little bit more of a discussion. So let me explain first where she's going to be good in the clan boss. Blocking debuffs and increasing defense will be very good in terms of helping beginner players finish their Minotaur grind. Like if she's one of your, you know, first champions that you build, she will help you there and do very well in the Minotaur grind. She can basically do well anywhere but the spider. Like Minotaur, Golem, and Dragon, I would say she's going to be pretty decent. She's not going to be very good in the Fire Knight because she doesn't really bring any utility to help manage the boss. There's no heal reduction, there's no multi-hit A1, there's no counterattack, nothing like that, no turn meter reduction, anything. So, not recommending her for the Fire Knight or the Spider, but she'll be pretty decent for these three here, the Minnow, the Golem, and the Dragon's Lair. And then obviously in the Potion Keeps, you can use her for any sort of sustained team with defense champions in it. She'll help your squishies stay alive, she'll block debuffs, and she'll do all that sort of stuff. So she'll be fine in all of these left dungeons, and then these three up here are kind of where she would perform best in my opinion. So, okay, now let's dive into the clan boss discussion. Pull back out to the main screen here. Okay, and then let me pull this up. This is a photo I had, or a screenshot I had. So this is kind of the effect that she can have against the clan boss. You can see that the Gathering Fury, the clan boss, is slamming down, but because of her block debuffs, she's able to soak up that stun and block the debuff. No matter who the clan boss attacks, she will block it because she has the AoE block debuff. So as long as you're managing that and keeping that up at the right time, you're gonna block that debuff, and that is huge because that stun can really screw up your team. So being able to block that every single time the clan boss does it can really impact the numbers that you're able to put out against the clan boss. So that's why she's so amazing in terms of providing so many rolls and blocking the stun, and why we want to tune her speed to do so. So now I'll pull up a clip showing you kind of how I did that. Now, in order to demonstrate this, this is what I wanted to kind of show you here. Let me size this and make this easy to show and explain without having to, you know, take you through a whole 10 or 15 minute clan boss battle. I wanted to kind of get this, you know, clipped out and explain the way of thinking and how this works for some of you newer players out there. So, okay, the clan boss has 3 abilities and they go in a rotation. So the clan boss is going to stun you when you see this 2-3 appear. I don't know a good way to remember that. Michael Jordan, something like that, 23. When you see the 23, Michael Jordan would stun his opponents with his ability. That's a good way to remember. I just came up with that. So when you see the 23, Michael Jordan is about to stun you. The clan boss is now, I know when this meter fills, the clan boss is going to pound the single target stun. So what I'm going to do here, what you'll see me doing is making sure I've got my ducks in a row and everything in order. And I can see that my Sentinel, I know the stun is coming. I know my team won't get 2 turns in before the boss meter fills up. So I can go ahead and do that shield. And now, since I can see that 23, I know the next attack is going to be the stun, and it will get blocked. And here it comes. Boom. Debuff blocked. We blocked the stun. So, and now I know that it's going to be the other 2 attacks for the next 2 turns, and then the 3rd turn is going to be that stun. So now I'm not going to be stunned for 1 turn, 2 turns, then we will see the 2-3 again, and we know the stun is coming, and we need to make sure our Sentinel is tuned and ready to use that shield, and we can block the stun. So that's how that works in the clan boss. And also here at the end, I've got some numbers I can show you. Where is the end of the fight here? We can kind of see how she compares in terms of her numbers that she put out. And there we go. All right, so here is the numbers. Now, this was on Brutal because my clan had already killed Ultra and Nightmare at the time of recording this video. I would have probably done it on Nightmare because most of you out there are probably looking to improve on Nightmare. I know it's hard because some of you are in Ultra, some of you are still in, you know, easy and normal and stuff, but Nightmare is kind of a good basis for where most people are trying to do well in. But that wasn't an option for me because they were both dead when I was going to record this, or I was already over the threshold or whatever. But yeah, in Brutal, you can see that she did 6.5 million, and she's keeping up with the Martyr here. Not quite up to par. She was the lowest on the team, but like I said, she fills so many roles with the decrease attack A1. She's a different affinity, so she's, you know, a lot of our attack downs are magic affinity. She brings the defense aura. She buffs our defense. She blocks the shield, or she blocks the stun of the clan boss, and then she also is going to buff the defense of our team. And a lot of times we're going to be bringing defense champions into the clan boss, or we need defense in order to survive longer against the clan boss. So absolutely incredible champion. If you have Sepulcher Sentinel, you are going to want to 6-star her and invest in her. She is a god tier epic, as you can see down in my tier list below if you want to see where I rank every champion. And I do also have that infographic, remember, down in the video description, where you can see the masteries and everything kind of laid out nicely in one little graphic for you. So yeah, that's going to kind of do it for this video. Let me know what you think about Sepulcher Sentinel down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.